I'll start. Congrats on the festival as ever.
Thank
This
you.
year, obviously, much more challenging than you've had it before. What were your kind of initial conversations when lockdown happened, and it was around the time, obviously, you were dealing with Flare as well. What were kind of your initial conversations with the team about how to pull it off?
Lots of panic. Can we do it? How will we do it? What will the autumn look like? I mean, it's really, really tricky in so many different ways. Financially, when you think about a festival that has an audience of 170,000 in London coming to see screenings, and you think about having to sort of remodel that, it's a huge task. But more importantly than that, and the thing that really unlocked the model for us is when we were thinking about this live cinema experience, which we really held on to, and we still have kept in our model. But when you think that only 30% of the screens will be filled, and you think about what kind of impact that'll have on access to those screenings, it really does make you think about the model in a different way, because we're a public audience festival. Giving audiences the opportunity to see films from all around the world is absolutely at the heart. It's like in the DNA of the festival. So it was important for us to think about a different way to give audiences access. And that really unlocked this partnership model, working with cinemas around the UK, working with cinemas in London to get these 13 previews films out to audiences in cinemas, but also the 54 films that we're going to have on the virtual festival premiere are really important moments to go beyond those cinemas, and anywhere you are in the UK, you can watch one of our virtual festival premieres. Films from over 40 countries, as ever in the festival. Getting that global diversity is important to us. Animation, documentary, fiction, restored classics from like gems from the archive. It's everything that audiences, I believe, love about the festival is there. It's just there in a scaled down form with some new look ways to access those films.
Yeah. Has it been difficult? Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening with the studios and distributors about, postponing films and pushing films back. And
Uh,
obviously, you guys wouldn't have shown something like Tenet, but obviously they're very much about the cinematic experience and want to release it in cinemas. Did you find that a lot of distributors were very open to the way that you wanted to do things, as they have been with some of the other festivals?
yeah, we've found. I think more rights distributors and sales agents and filmmakers have been even more adventurous than maybe back in May I thought they would have been. And I think it's true that where we fall in the calendar means that we've all become increasingly adaptable over the last 6 months, because we have to. We have to figure out new ways of working, and I've been really encouraged how willing to experiment and innovate rights holders are. I feel like we've had to adapt really quickly, and people have, but they have because we're all trying to work together to solve these problems. I've seen a real spirit of unity this year, which has been encouraging.
And I asked Ben about this, about your bookends, your opening and closing festival. Obviously, it's amazing. You've done an amazing job getting so many films and experiences into the festival. But two British filmmakers who have spent their careers, short careers, long careers, telling stories that are important and prevalent, and they do again this year. How happy are you, and how important do you think it was to have those two films kind of as your bookends?
Really important for, as you say, I mean, they're two incredibly accomplished filmmakers, two of the UK's great filmmakers, but they're also telling stories that are not just entertaining, but have a real social relevance. Steve McQueen's Mangrove opening the festival. I think any year, Steve would have been right there, top of our list. We would have pursued a new Steve McQueen film, but this film, which comes at a moment after we've seen huge global anti-Black racism protests around the world and calls for social justice, feels like such a timely, important and urgent film. It's also really a great courtroom drama. Letitia Wright and Sean Parks are fantastic in the two leads. But closing with Francis Lee's Ammonite is also really special. It's a moving, really tender love story that audiences are going to get swept up in. But it's also a film that, like God's Own Country, has a sort of socio-political urgency and a subtext that just makes it even more of a richer viewing experience. So yeah, these feel like really, it's important that films do say something to us, and these two films do say something about the world that we live in, and that feels like the right thing right now.
Yeah, and just as a very quick final question, obviously talking to you post-launch, so there's been a lot of talk on the Twitter sphere about the festival and films missing and films that might come. Are there any surprises to come, or can you shed any light, or is
We
it?
will have some surprises to come.
That's
We will
good.
have, as ever, we always hold back a couple of, I mean, this year to scale, but we always hold back a few spots for late editions, and we're going to be announcing a couple late editions in the next few weeks.
I will spread the news on Twitter, as it were. Tricia, lovely to talk to you as ever. Thanks so much for your time, and good luck with the festival. I hope it all goes well for you.
Thank you, Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,